Chapter 1. Sophie had been in some weird situations before, like the time she accidentally walked into the men's restroom at work and made uncomfortable eye contact with her boss. But this was a whole new level of ridiculous. She had come to this wedding alone, minding her business, sipping champagne, and eating tiny, overpriced appetizers. And now, she was apparently someone's fiancé, a man she had never even met. Oh, darling, an elderly woman in pearls and far too much perfume grabbed Sophie's hands, her eyes shimmering with happy tears. I knew it. I just knew Liam would find the right girl. Sophie stared at her, absolutely frozen. Why didn't you tell us sooner? Another woman chimed in, smacking the arm of a ridiculously good-looking man standing beside Sophie. Liam, you scoundrel. Keeping such a beautiful woman a secret. Sophie turned to him. Liam, her supposed fiancé, tall, dark-haired, ridiculously attractive in an unfair, infuriating way. He had that whole effortless charm thing going for him, the kind of guy who probably never tripped over flat surfaces or accidentally sent emails to the wrong people. Unlike Sophie, and worst of all, he was smirking. Oh, he was enjoying this. Sophie narrowed her eyes. What is going on? She hissed under her breath. Liam shrugged, completely unfazed. I think you just got engaged. Congratulations. Sophie inhaled very, very slowly. Are you? She gestured wildly at the crowd of people beaming at them. Are you actually going along with this? Liam grinned, his green eyes dancing with amusement. I don't see a way out, do you? Sophie looked around. Everyone was watching them. A dozen delighted relatives. A few adorable children who looked like they had been waiting for this moment their entire short lives. Even the bride, the actual bride of the wedding, stood nearby, clutching her hands to her chest like she was witnessing the most romantic thing in history. This was a trap. Sophie exhaled sharply, shooting Liam a deadly look. Oh, we are talking about this later, she muttered. Liam smirked, leaning in slightly. Looking forward to it, sweetheart. Sophie had never been more tempted to throw a glass of champagne at someone in her life. Chapter 2. Sophie had a lot of questions like, why was she engaged, and why was Liam, a total stranger, so relaxed about it, and how fast could she run in these heels? Tell us everything. The elderly woman, who Sophie now suspected was Liam's grandmother, clasped her hands excitedly. Where did you two meet? Sophie opened her mouth. Nothing came out. Liam, however, was cool as a cucumber. Oh, you know, he said smoothly, wrapping an arm around Sophie's waist like it was the most natural thing in the world. One of those chance meetings. Completely unexpected. But the second I saw her, I just knew. Sophie choked. Excuse me, what? His grandmother gasped in delight. Oh, how romantic. Liam glanced down at Sophie, clearly enjoying himself. Right, sweetheart. Sophie clenched her jaw and plastered on a fake smile. Oh, absolutely. The moment was just magical. Liam gave her a knowing look. She stepped on his foot. He didn't even flinch. Okay. Fine. If Liam wanted to play this game, two could play. Sophie turned to his grandmother, sighing dramatically. The first time I saw Liam, he was saving kittens from a tree. Liam raised an eyebrow. His grandmother gasped. Oh, my. I always knew you had a kind heart, Liam. Liam tilted his head, amused. That's right, he said smoothly. And Sophie was the one who helped me. She's a hero. Sophie beamed. Well, you were crying. Someone had to be brave. Liam's grin widened. She's right. I was a mess. Oh, you two are just perfect together, a woman gushed. Sophie was going to faint. How had her normal day turned into this? And why did Liam look so entertained? As the family kept bombarding them with questions, Liam leaned in again. Enjoying our engagement? Sophie whispered back. I hate you. Liam smirked. I know. Sophie exhaled sharply. This was not over. She was going to get to the bottom of this, and Liam Sinclair was going to regret ever smirking at her. Chapter 3. Sophie needed to get out of this immediately, but unfortunately, Liam's family had other plans. Oh, darling, Liam's grandmother said, linking her arm through Sophie's before she could escape. You must sit with us at dinner. We need to hear all about your wedding plans. Sophie froze. Wedding plans? Liam sighed dramatically. Ah, yes. The wedding. Sophie wants it to be big, don't you? Sweetheart? Sophie narrowed her eyes. Oh, absolutely. The biggest wedding ever. Liam smirked. Thousands of guests. Sophie grinned sweetly. A marching band. Liam tilted his head. A petting zoo. Sophie gasped. Oh, and fireworks indoors. Liam's grandmother clutched her chest. Oh, how wonderful. Sophie's smile faltered. Wait, what? Liam's shoulders shook with silent laughter. Oh, this man was the worst. Sophie turned to his grandmother, desperate to fix this misunderstanding. Actually, about the engagement, but before she could explain the truth, a loud clink 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 rang through the air. The bride was tapping a spoon against her champagne glass. Oh no, Sophie whispered. Oh yes, Liam murmured back, clearly enjoying himself. Sophie and Liam, the bride called, beaming at them. We just heard the news. Since this is a wedding, I think it's only fitting you to celebrate with a no, please don't say it kiss. Sophie's stomach dropped. A collective ooh spread through the wedding guests. Sophie whipped around to glare at Liam. Fix this. Liam's lips twitched. I mean, we don't want to disappoint everyone. Sophie's jaw dropped. You wouldn't dare. His gaze dropped to her lips. Wouldn't I? Oh, he so would. The guests cheered. The bride clapped excitedly. Liam's grandmother was practically in tears. Liam leaned in slightly, eyes twinkling. You wanna run? Sophie considered it. She really did, but there were too many people. Too many phones out, recording this exact moment, which meant she was going to have to kiss a total stranger in front of everyone. Liam's lips curved into a slow, smug grin. Oh, don't look so nervous, sweetheart, he teased. It's not like it's our first kiss. Sophie blinked. It's literally our first kiss. Liam shrugged. Not according to my grandmother. Sophie wanted to die. Chapter 4. Sophie's brain had completely shut down because this was not happening. She was not about to kiss a complete stranger at a wedding. In front of his entire family, and yet, Liam was still smirking, leaning in slightly like he was actually going to do it. Oh, for heaven's sake, his grandmother said impatiently, waving a hand. Just kiss the girl, Liam. The crowd cheered. Sophie's panic intensified. I will actually strangle you, she hissed at him. Liam chuckled. Not before you kiss me first. Sophie's stomach flipped. Not because she wanted to kiss him, obviously, but because she had no way out. Everyone was watching, phones were recording, she was trapped. Liam leaned in. Too close. Sophie's breath hitched. Too close, too close, too close, and then, his lips brushed against her cheek. Sophie blinked. The crowd roared in approval. Liam pulled back, grinning. Happy now? Sophie stared at him. That was it. She had been mentally preparing for her downfall, and he had just kissed her cheek. Liam's grandmother sighed dramatically. Oh, that was just adorable. The bride clutched her chest. You two are the cutest couple ever. Sophie exhaled, crisis averted sort of. Liam winked at her. See? That wasn't so bad. Sophie stepped on his foot again. Hard. Liam barely reacted, but his smirk grew wider. Oh, she hated him. Absolutely hated him, but before she could murder him, someone clapped her on the back. So, when's the wedding? Sophie's eye twitched. Liam grinned. Oh, that's a great question. Oh, no. Sophie snapped her head toward him, eyes blazing. That if he answered that, she was going to lose her mind and possibly commit a crime. Liam met her gaze, amused, then he smirked. Sophie braced herself because somehow, she knew, this was about to get so much worse. Chapter 5. Sophie was going to commit a crime right here. Right now, because Liam, the world's most infuriating man, was taking his sweet time answering the question. Someone in the crowd repeated it. Louder. So, when's the wedding? Sophie clenched her fists. Over my dead body. Liam tapped his chin, pretending to think. What do you think, sweetheart? Should we go for a spring wedding? Sophie's eye twitched. Oh, sure. Spring. The season of allergies and regret. Liam grinned. Sounds perfect for us. The guests laughed. Sophie tried to breathe through her rage before she could set the record straight. Liam's grandmother clasped her hands. Spring would be lovely. Maybe a beach wedding? Sophie made a high-pitched noise of distress. Liam nodded. A beach wedding it is, then. Sophie's jaw dropped. He was enjoying this, but before she could throttle him, his grandmother grabbed her hands. "Oh, Sophie, dear," she said, her eyes shining. "You have no idea how happy you've made me." Sophie froze. "Oh, no," the woman looked so emotional. So genuinely happy. Liam saw it, too. His teasing smirk faded slightly. His grandmother sighed wistfully. "I was starting to think Liam would never settle down. But then he met you, and everything changed." Sophie swallowed hard. Liam shifted beside her. The amusement in his eyes was still there, but it was softer now. Less mischievous. Sophie took a deep breath. She had two choices. 1. Tell everyone the truth and risk breaking this sweet old lady's heart. 2. Play along for a little while longer and figure out a way to escape later. Sophie looked at the hopeful face in front of her, then she looked at Liam, who, for once, wasn't smirking. Sophie sighed. "Well, crap, yeah," she said, forcing a smile. "Liam changed everything for me too." Liam glanced at her. A flicker of surprise crossed his face before he smirked again. Sophie ignored it, because she was not doing this for him, she was doing it for his grandmother and maybe, just maybe, for the free cake. Chapter 6. Sophie had officially lost her mind because she was still here. At this wedding. Pretending to be engaged to Liam, the human embodiment of smugness, but at least there was cake. Sophie stabbed her fork into the slice in front of her, determined to focus on the one good thing about this disaster. Across the table, Liam watched her, amused. "Enjoying yourself, sweetheart?" Sophie pointed her fork at him. "Don't talk to me. I'm coping." Liam chuckled, sipping his champagne. "Coping with what? A lovely evening with your darling fiancé?" Sophie narrowed her eyes. "Coping with the urge to throw you into the wedding cake." Liam's lips twitched. "Romantic." Before Sophie could stab him with her fork, Liam's grandmother sighed dreamily. "Oh, you two remind me of me and my late husband. We used to tease each other just like this." Sophie's fork froze mid-air. "Oh no," now she felt even worse. Liam's smirk softened again. Just for a second, then, as if sensing Sophie's weakening resolve, he leaned forward, voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. "If it helps," he murmured, "I'll let you pick the wedding cake flavor." Sophie rolled her eyes. "Oh, how generous." Liam's shoulders shook with silent laughter. Sophie turned back to her cake, muttering under her breath, "I should have run when I had the chance." Liam, still annoyingly close, smirked. "Why didn't you?" Sophie stabbed her fork into the cake again because she was a sucker for an emotional grandmother and also free cake, but she wasn't about to admit that. So instead, she said sweetly, "Because I wanted to ruin your life, obviously." Liam grinned. "Ah, of course." Before Sophie could shove more cake into her mouth to prevent further conversation, someone clinked their glass again. She stiffened. "Oh, not this again." Speech, the bride called out. "Come on, lovebirds. Tell us how you met." Sophie went rigid. Liam turned to her, delighted. "Well, sweetheart." Sophie's stomach plummeted. Oh, she was so not ready for this. Chapter 7. Sophie's soul left her body. She was supposed to do what now? Oh, yes. Liam's grandmother clapped her hands in excitement. "Tell us how you two met." Sophie shot Liam a look of pure panic. He, of course, looked completely at ease. "The smug menace, well," he said, leaning back in his chair. "It's a beautiful story, really." Sophie tensed. Liam's version of a beautiful story was probably a crime against storytelling. Liam turned to her, grinning. "You should tell it, sweetheart." Sophie stared daggers at him. Oh, he was enjoying this, but she couldn't back down now. She cleared her throat, forcing a bright smile. "Right. How we met. Such a magical moment." Liam nodded seriously. "Life-changing, really." Sophie fought the urge to kick him under the table. Instead, she blurted out the first thing that came to mind. It was an accident. Liam tilted his head. "An accident?" Sophie nodded quickly. "Yes, a happy accident." The crowd oat. Sophie's brain was scrambling. "You see, I was walking into a cafe, and I tripped." Liam's lips twitched. Sophie plowed ahead. "And Liam, being the kind, wonderful person he is, caught me before I hit the ground." Liam raised an eyebrow. Sophie gritted her teeth. "Go along with it, you infuriating man," Liam smirked. "And then?" Sophie panicked. "And then? I spilled my coffee all over him." Liam's eyes sparkled with amusement. Ah, yes. I remember it well. Sophie tried not to glare. And he was so nice about it. He just smiled and said, "Wow, I love being drenched in hot coffee." Liam snorted, the guests laughed. Sophie felt mildly victorious, then Liam, because he was the worst, added, "And that's when I knew she was the one." The crowd melted, Sophie nearly choked on air. Liam took her hand, looking way too convincing. "I mean, who wouldn't fall for someone who gives you second-degree burns?" Sophie's face burned, she was going to murder him, but first, she needed another slice of cake. Chapter 8. Sophie was fuming. Liam was enjoying this way too much. He still had her hand in his, and if she squeezed any harder, she might actually crush his fingers. But before she could whisper threats in his ear, the band started playing a slow song. Oh, how perfect. Liam's grandmother beamed. "You two should dance." Sophie's stomach plummeted. "Nope," she said quickly, snatching her hand away. "No need. We don't want to steal attention from the bride and groom." The bride waved happily. "Nonsense. Go dance." Sophie froze. The entire crowd was watching them. Liam, the traitor, stood and held out a hand. "Shall we, sweetheart?" Sophie glared. Oh, she would make him suffer for this, but with dozens of eager eyes on her, she had no choice. With a tight smile, she placed her hand in his. "Fine." Liam grinned. "That's the spirit." As he led her to the dance floor, Sophie leaned in. "If you step on my toes, I will sue." Liam chuckled. "Noted." Sophie placed her hand on his shoulder. He rested his on her waist, and just like that, they were dancing. Sophie hated to admit it, but he was good at this. Smooth, confident, and annoyingly charming. "Are you actually good at everything?" she muttered. Liam smirked. "So you admit I'm good?" Sophie scowled. That was a mistake. Liam twirled her effortlessly before pulling her back in. Her breath hitched. Liam noticed. The smirk deepened. Oh, no, Sophie would rather eat her own shoe than let him think she was flustered, so she smirked right back. "You know," she said sweetly, "since we're engaged now, I should meet your parents." Liam stumbled just a little, but Sophie caught it. Her grin turned victorious. Liam's jaw clenched. "You're evil." Sophie batted her lashes. "Just returning the favor, sweetheart." Before Liam could respond, the song ended. Sophie pulled away, triumphant, but her victory was short-lived because the bride suddenly announced, "Let's hear it for our favorite couple." The crowd cheered. Sophie's stomach dropped. Oh, she was in too deep, and worse, Liam knew it. Chapter 9. Sophie was done. Absolutely, completely, 100% done. She had survived being fake engaged. She had survived the story of how they met. She had even survived slow dancing with the enemy, but now the bride was grinning at them, eyes twinkling with mischief. "You know," she said, tapping her champagne glass, "since you two are already engaged, why don't you recreate the proposal for us?" Sophie's heart stopped. The guests cheered in agreement. Her mouth fell open. "Oh no. No, no, no." But Liam? That evil, beautiful man, he was already getting down on one knee. Sophie's soul left her body. The entire wedding party gasped dramatically. Sophie glared at him. "Liam." Liam smirked up at her. "Yes, sweetheart." Sophie whispered furiously. "Get up." Liam, the absolute menace, took her hand gently. "Sophie, my love," he said, with a perfectly serious expression. Sophie wanted to die, not because of embarrassment, but because he was so good at this. Too good, like Oscar-worthy good. "We've been through so much together," Liam continued. "From the moment I met you, I knew," he paused, looking deep into her eyes. Sophie swallowed, "that you were a menace." The crowd laughed. Sophie's lips twitched. Liam squeezed her hand. "But somehow, I still want to spend the rest of my life tolerating you." More laughter. Sophie bit her lip to stop herself from smiling. The jerk was actually good at this. Then, before she could process it, Liam slid a ring onto her finger. Sophie choked. "What is this?" she shouted. Liam, looking far too smug, stood up and leaned in. "Relax," he murmured. "It's just my grandmother's ring." Sophie froze. She turned her head very, very slowly. And there was Liam's grandmother, beaming with joy. Sophie's stomach flipped. Liam whispered, "Congratulations, fiancé." Sophie whispered back, "I'm going to kill you." Liam just grinned, but Sophie's brain had only one thought. Oh, I am so screwed. Chapter 10. Sophie was spiraling, like, full on losing her mind, spiraling because there was a ring on her finger. Not just any ring, Liam's grandmother's ring, which meant things had escalated beyond the point of no return. The wedding guests were still clapping as if this was the most romantic moment in history. Meanwhile, Sophie was standing there in shock, staring at her hand like it had personally betrayed her. Liam, as usual, looked completely at ease. "Sweetheart," he said in an infuriatingly soft voice. "You're squeezing my hand." Sophie realized she was crushing his fingers and immediately let go. Then she hissed, "Are you insane?" Liam grinned. "A little." "You gave me your grandmother's ring," she yelled. "This is next-level commitment. We are in too deep." Liam shrugged. "It was either that or let my grandma cry." Sophie glanced at his grandmother. Yep. She looked ready to weep with joy. Sophie's stomach dropped. "Oh no," she murmured. "I can't break an old lady's heart." Liam smirked. "Exactly." Sophie wanted to scream before she could properly panic. Liam's mother approached with a wide smile. "Oh, Sophie, dear," she gushed, grabbing her hands. "We are so happy to welcome you into the family." Sophie choked on air. Liam snickered. His mother turned to him. "Why didn't you tell us sooner? I would have started planning immediately." Sophie felt faint. Liam's smirk grew. "We wanted to keep it a surprise." His mother beamed. "Well, what a wonderful surprise it is. We'll have to start discussing wedding plans soon." Sophie blacked out for a second. Wedding. Liam patted her back. "Breathe, sweetheart." Sophie laughed. "Oh, I'm breathing, all right. Breathing through my imminent nervous breakdown." Liam chuckled. And just when Sophie thought things couldn't get worse, Liam's mother gasped, "Oh my goodness. We must take family photos." Sophie internally screamed because now, she wasn't just a fake fiancé, she was about to be immortalized in wedding pictures as a fake fiancé. Liam, the devil himself, held out his arm. "Shall we, sweetheart?" Sophie took it and prayed for divine intervention. Chapter 11. Sophie was living a nightmare. A very well-dressed, expensive-looking, champagne-filled nightmare, because she was now smack in the middle of Liam's family photos, smiling. Like she actually belonged there. Liam's mother had insisted she stand beside him. His grandmother kept squeezing her hand and beaming at her like she was an angel sent from above. And Liam looked like he was having the time of his life. Sophie, on the other hand, was one forced smile away from a breakdown. The photographer adjusted his camera. "Okay, let's do a couple's photo next. Just the two of you." Sophie internally screamed. "Oh, how lovely." Liam's mother clapped. "Let's get some romantic ones." Romantic. Sophie's soul left her body before she could escape. Liam casually slid an arm around her waist and pulled her closer. Sophie stiffened. Liam leaned in. "Relax, sweetheart. Just pretend you like me." Sophie gritted her teeth. "That's the hardest thing anyone has ever asked me to do." Liam chuckled, and his breath tickled her ear. The photographer lifted his camera. "All right, let's do one where Liam kisses Sophie on the cheek." Sophie's brain exploded. What? Oh, what a lovely idea. Liam's grandmother squealed. Liam, of course, looked way too amused. He tilted his head slightly, his lips hovering dangerously close to her cheek. Sophie's brain short-circuited. Abort mission. Abort. Before Liam could actually go through with it, she grabbed his face with both hands, turned his head, and kissed his cheek instead. The crowd oat. Sophie pulled back, smirking. "Beat you to it." Liam blinked. For the first time all day, he actually looked surprised. The photographer laughed. "That was great. Let's do one where he dips you like in a classic romance scene." Sophie snapped her head toward the man. Was this guy out to ruin her life? Before she could protest, Liam's grip tightened, and suddenly she was dipping like, full-on, classic Hollywood-style dipping. Liam held her effortlessly, his arms strong and secure, his face just inches from hers, and then Liam winked. Sophie forgot how to breathe. Click. The camera captured the moment. The guests cheered, and Sophie realized something very, very dangerous. She might actually like this devil. Chapter 12. Sophie was having a crisis. A full-blown, brain-melting, heart-racing crisis. Because she liked it. She liked being in Liam's arms. She liked the way he smirked at her like she was his favorite problem. She liked how he made her laugh, even when she wanted to strangle him. And that was a disaster. Because Liam was not real. Okay, fine, he was real, but their relationship wasn't. Which meant she needed to shut this ridiculous feeling down. Immediately she straightened her dress, cleared her throat, and tried to regain control of her life. But then Liam, the absolute menace, leaned down and whispered, "You're blushing, sweetheart." Sophie's entire soul combusted. "No, I'm not," she snapped. Liam's smirk grew. "Oh, you definitely are." Sophie narrowed her eyes. "I hate you." Liam chuckled. "And yet, you kissed my cheek." Sophie gasped. "That was a survival tactic." Liam raised an eyebrow. "Oh, and the blushing?" Sophie opened her mouth, then promptly shut it, because she had no excuse. She needed an escape, like, right now. "Oh wow, look at the time," she blurted. "I should go check on, literally anything else." She spun around and practically sprinted away. Liam watched her go, amusement flickering in his eyes, and for the first time since this ridiculous fake engagement started, he realized something. Something very dangerous. He didn't hate this at all. Chapter 13. Sophie was hiding, like a coward, behind a large potted plant in the corner of the ballroom, clutching a champagne glass like it was a life raft because her feelings were getting out of control. She had rules. Rule number 1, do not fall for Liam. Rule number 2, absolutely do not fall for Liam. Rule number 3, for the love of all that is holy, do not fall for Liam. And yet, here she was, having stupid thoughts about his smirk and his voice, and his annoying, infuriating way of making her laugh. This was a catastrophe. "Are you hiding behind a plant?" Sophie yelped, nearly choking on air. Liam leaned against the pillar, arms crossed, looking too smug for someone who just caught her mid-crisis. "No," she said immediately. He smirked. "Are you sure?" "Positive," she lied. Liam tilted his head. "So if I tell everyone you're back here, you wouldn't mind?" Sophie's entire body tensed. "Don't you dare." Liam grinned. "Then come out, sweetheart." Sophie groaned and reluctantly stepped away from the plant. Liam studied her. "You look panicked." Sophie forced a laugh. "Phut, what? No. I'm calm. I'm so calm I could knit a sweater." Liam raised an eyebrow. "You don't even know how to knit." "Exactly." Liam's lips twitched. Then, before she could fully process what was happening, he stepped closer, too close. Close enough that she could smell his cologne. Close enough that her heart threw a tantrum. "You know," he murmured, "this whole thing has been interesting." Sophie blinked. "Define interesting." Liam's gaze didn't waver. "You," he said simply. Sophie's brain short-circuited. This was not happening. Liam was not looking at her like that, like she was something special, like he actually liked this. Her heart did a dumb thing and skipped a beat. No, nope. Not happening. She needed to shut this down. "Well," she squeaked. "Great talk. Gotta go. Bye." And with that, she bolted because denial was a beautiful thing. Chapter 14. Sophie was officially losing her mind. She had run away, like an actual cartoon character from Liam, from his stupid too close for comfort stare. From the dangerous realization that she might actually, have feelings for him. Nope. No. Not happening. She needed a distraction, so, naturally, she found the dessert table and piled her plate with enough cake to drown her emotions. "Is that your strategy?" A too familiar voice drawled behind her. Sophie froze. "Oh no." Slowly, she turned, and there was Liam, looking entirely too amused. "Running from me and stress-eating cake," he continued, raising an eyebrow. "Impressive." Sophie shoved a bite of cake into her mouth and pointedly ignored him. Liam smirked. "You know, if you want another kiss, you can just ask." Sophie choked on her cake. Liam grinned. "I'll take that as a yes." She grabbed a napkin, glared at him, and hissed, "I don't want a kiss." "Sure," he said, clearly lying. Sophie scowled. "I don't." Liam stepped closer. "You don't." Sophie's heart betrayed her and started racing. "Nope," she whispered. Liam tilted his head, eyes locked onto hers. "Good." "Wait, good." Sophie blinked. "What?" Liam leaned in slightly, lowering his voice. "Because if you don't want one," Sophie's breath caught, "then that means I get to surprise you." "What?" Sophie barely had time to react before Liam brushed his lips against her cheek. Just barely. Just enough to make her brain explode. Sophie's entire body froze. Liam leaned back, looking way too pleased. She opened her mouth. No words came out. Liam smirked, patted her head, and casually walked away. Like he hadn't just ruined her life. Sophie stared after him. She had one thought: feelings. Feelings were a scam, and she was completely falling for it. Chapter 15. Sophie was in trouble. like deep, no way out, might as well scream into a pillow kind of trouble. Because she had officially, 100%, no denying it anymore, fallen for Liam. And the worst part, he knew it, that stupid, smug, insufferably handsome menace knew. And he was enjoying every second of it. Sophie, meanwhile, was spiraling. "I can't believe this," she muttered, pacing her bedroom later that night. "This is a betrayal. A scandal. A personal attack." Her phone buzzed. "Liam, sweetheart, are you still pretending you don't like me, or have you finally come to terms with reality?" Sophie screamed internally. She typed back furiously, "Sophie, I do not like you, Liam." "Cute, Sophie. I'm not cute, Liam. You just proved my point." Sophie threw her phone onto the bed and flopped down dramatically. This was a disaster. She was supposed to fake date Liam. Not, whatever this was, not falling for his dumb smirk, not melting when he called her sweetheart, not wanting him to actually like her back. Sophie groaned, stuffing a pillow over her face. A soft knock sounded at her door. "Sophie?" Her head shot up. That was not her imagination, that was Liam. At her door. "Go away," she yelled, completely unprepared for this confrontation. "No," Sophie scowled. "Liam, I swear, open the door." "No, Sophie." "Liam." A pause. Then, "I have cake." Sophie cursed, the traitor. She yanked open the door, arms crossed. "This better be the best cake of my life." Liam smirked, stepping inside like he owned the place. She hated how normal it felt. "How right, you're freaking out," he said casually, handing her a slice of cake. "I'm not freaking out," she lied, stuffing a bite into her mouth. Liam leaned against her desk, watching her. "You like me?" Sophie choked for the second time that day. "Excuse me?" Liam grinned. "You heard me." Sophie grabbed her pillow and threw it at him. He caught it effortlessly, laughing. "Denial isn't working, sweetheart." Sophie groaned. "Feelings are the worst." Liam just smirked. "Good thing I have enough for both of us." "Wait. What? Sophie's heart skipped a beat. Liam set the pillow down, stepping closer. "You think you're the only one losing their mind here?" Her brain short-circuited. Liam tapped her chin, smirking. "Try again." Sophie swallowed. "I maybe like you a little." Liam's eyes lit up. "See? That wasn't so hard." Sophie scowled. "Shut up." Liam chuckled, tilting her face up. "Make me." And just like that, he kissed her. Sophie's heart exploded. Feelings were still a scam, but maybe, just maybe, she didn't mind anymore. Epilogue, love, cake, and a smug boyfriend Sophie had lost. Completely, utterly, hopelessly lost, because not only had she fallen for Liam, but she had also become his girlfriend. A truly tragic turn of events. And the worst part, he would not let her forget it. "Hey, sweetheart?" Liam's voice was way too smug as he leaned back on her couch, watching her struggle to open a jar of peanut butter. "What?" she grumbled, twisting the lid with all her might. "Remember when you swore up and down that you didn't like me?" Sophie scowled, putting her entire body weight into the jar. "Nope. Never happened." Liam grinned. "You sure? Because I have receipts." She groaned. "Let it go." "I can't." Liam stood, walked over, and easily took the jar from her hands. With one effortless twist, he popped the lid open. Sophie gaped. "Are you even human?" she accused. Liam smirked. "Superhuman strength comes with the territory of being an amazing boyfriend." Sophie rolled her eyes, snatching the jar back. "Amazing is a stretch." Liam wrapped his arms around her from behind, resting his chin on her shoulder. "Amazing," he repeated, grinning against her skin. Sophie's face betrayed her and turned bright red. This was so unfair. A month ago, she'd been happily single and very much in denial. Now she was the idiot blushing over her boyfriend's dumb pet names. Unacceptable. Liam pressed a soft, teasing kiss to her cheek. "What are you thinking about?" Sophie sighed dramatically. "How I used to have peace." Liam chuckled. "And now?" Sophie huffed. "Now I have a menace attached to me at all times." Liam smirked. "Sounds like you're obsessed with me." Sophie grabbed a spoonful of peanut butter and smeared it on his nose. Liam stared at her. Sophie grinned. "Still think I'm obsessed with you?" Liam slowly licked the peanut butter off his lips. "Yep." Sophie groaned. "You are impossible." Liam just laughed, pulling her in for a real kiss. Sophie melted like the absolute fool she was. Maybe she had lost, but honestly, it didn't feel like losing at all.
Liam's POV. Liam had known two things for a while now. Point 1. Sophie was the most stubborn person on the planet. Point 2. She was also completely, ridiculously in love with him, and now she was his, officially, not fake. Not pretend, real, which meant he had every right to tease her for the rest of eternity. He grinned as he leaned back on her couch, watching her struggle with a jar of peanut butter like she was wrestling a bear. Hey, sweetheart, he drawled, enjoying the way she immediately tensed. What? She huffed, twisting the lid like her life depended on it. Liam smirked. She was so cute when she was frustrated. Remember when you swore up and down that you didn't like me? Sophie glared. Nope. Never happened. Liam laughed. You sure? Because I have texts, witnesses, and a bruised ego to prove otherwise. Let it go. I can't. Liam stood, took the jar from her hands, and opened it effortlessly. Sophie stared in betrayal. Are you even human? She demanded. Liam shrugged. Superhuman strength comes with being an incredible boyfriend. Sophie rolled her eyes, but didn't correct him. Progress. He stepped closer, wrapped his arms around her from behind, and rested his chin on her shoulder. Sophie froze. Perfect. What are you thinking about? He asked, grinning. Sophie sighed dramatically. How I used to have peace. Liam chuckled. And now? Sophie groaned. Now I have a walking headache attached to me at all times. Liam smirked. Sounds like you're obsessed with me. Before he could react, she scooped peanut butter onto her finger and smeared it on his nose. Liam blinked. Sophie grinned like she just won a championship. Still think I'm obsessed with you? She teased. Liam licked the peanut butter off his lips, watching her closely. Yep. Sophie groaned. You are impossible. Liam chuckled, tilting her chin up. And you're in love with me? Sophie's face flushed. She opened her mouth. No denial came out. Liam grinned, pulling her in for a kiss. Victory. And damn, did it taste sweet.